why don't you take it away as far as the schedule is coming out? You know, there's some significant changes in there. I know Miami was a team that had like an easier schedule down the stretch. Now, not so much. I think they actually have the second toughest schedule, with the 8 games being played. But go ahead, take it away.
Yeah, definitely. The NBA, I think later last week, I think maybe Thursday, they released the schedule for all 22 teams coming back. You know, with 8 teams not being there, you got to kind of replace some teams. And I guess we all seen this coming with, like I said, 8 teams not being there. I just think the schedule is kind of interesting. Like I think we had talked about this on here before. Just what is the NBA going to do with having all the teams in one bubble? Are they gonna play games all day? Like, are they gonna have some games at 1 o'clock, some games later on in the day, some back to back to back to backs? So with the schedule coming out, we kind of seen that. I seen a couple of games where that start at 1 p.m., which is going to be interesting to see how teams react to that because I don't think there's ever been a time where we had games at 1 p.m. Actually, I think on like Martin Luther King Day and Christmas and stuff like that. So besides it being like a holiday or something like that kind of game, we don't really see games that early. And then see games back to back to back kind of all day. Especially some of the games are going to be during the weekday when people are at work. So we see how the numbers look for that. It'd be interesting. But I think the schedule wise, I think the Rockets have a tough schedule. I think uh most of the teams off the top of my head, without being able to look at it right now, I think most of the teams when I seen it, I actually commented on it when it first came out. The Rockets kind of have a pretty tough schedule ahead, especially coming out. I think they start off against the Lakers, so they kind of come out and hit the ground running.
First game is
The
for the
Mavs, I think, for the Rockets.
Rockets. Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I think it's the Lakers or the Mavs, or it's the Mavs and the Lakers. But for the Rockets, they kind of hit the ground running as soon as the season starts. So I think the Rockets kind of have no wiggle room, especially with them being in the sixth seed. And I think that like I said, their schedule is kind of tough.
Yeah, but I mean, you know how I feel about the Rockets. Um, I think they're gonna hit the ground running once again. So I'm not too worried about their schedule. You got two guys that are up to the challenge, and very interested to see what James Harden looks like now that he's got like a whole new body.
Yeah, but with him coming back with a new body, like you said, they kind of have their two guys, which you know you're gonna get out of them. But they're coming back, and I guess no game here is kind of a warm up game. But like I said, they kind of hit the ground running. They're already in the sixth seed, so I'm pretty sure they kind of want to work their way up out of that sixth seed. And I guess you can maybe look at it as a challenge when they're coming in and they're getting the Mavs right away, they're getting the Lakers right away. But trying to come off and knock that rust off against games that kind of, I guess all games here kind of automatically count. But like the first game back against the Lakers, I feel like it's kind of a tough game. So I feel like they have no real space to kind of start off slow here in the bubble, kind of being in the sixth seed already. But yeah, like I said, I just think their schedule is kind of tough.
Two TNT games to start us off too on Thursday of the 30th. It's coming up, people. 6:30 p.m. Utah versus the New Orleans Pelicans, and then at 9 p.m. Eastern time, I'm sure we'll all be watching the Clippers versus the Lakers.
Oh yeah, I forgot they're starting off with another Clippers versus Lakers, another LA showdown to start off. So well, we all know that's kind of like the marquee game everybody wants to see, but I think that's going to be interesting for both teams to kind of come out the gate and play each other right off the bat, which the two teams we kind of expect to be in the Western Conference Finals for the most part. So to get each other right off the back, I mean, you know, it's probably going to bring the ratings, and that's kind of what they want. But I think that's kind of tough for both teams. But I guess they started this season off playing each other, so I guess it'd be kind of more of the same.
Yeah, most def. Um, do you let's get into it. Of the team, the non-playoff teams making the bubble, only one non-playoff team got in from the East, which is the Washington Wizards, a team that I think we can both agree, while not a great team, they've been very fun to watch this season, high scoring, even though they give up a lot of points, but everybody likes to see it. Unless you're just a basketball purist. And then you've got the Phoenix Suns, the Sacramento Kings, the Portland Trailblazers, the New Orleans Pelicans, and the San Antonio Spurs in the West. Of all these teams I named, who do you expect to get in?
I
Specifically with the schedule coming out now, getting a chance to see who's doing what. I know the Wizards are about 5 games out from the eighth seed in the East.
I personally would have to go with the Blazers. I just think Damian Lillard will come out motivated, and out of all the teams left, I think the Blazers are the only team that has a star or a superstar, depending on how you consider Damian Lillard. I would probably consider him a superstar. So the only team left with like a superstar who's kind of been there, and then he still has C.J. McCollum. So two dominant scorers and two people who kind of been there and been have run their team to the playoffs, kind of been there, done that type of thing. So I think the Memphis to me is kind of too young and coming back out of the bubble. Who knows how they're kind of gonna come back? So I think I don't know how much veterans they have on there, but I don't think a lot. So I think they're kind of gonna have a little problem coming back, just being young. And I think the Pelicans are kind of the same problem. I think they're gonna kind of just being young. I think they kind of might fall off to a team like the Blazers who are more veteran ready and stuff like that. And they're still getting some players back from injury, so it's been kind of good for them. I think San Antonio losing LaMarcus Aldridge, I think that's going to make it tough for them to get in. And then for Phoenix, I think Phoenix losing Kelly Oubre is kind of tough for them too. And then I think they were kind of falling off. They kind of started the season hot and they're kind of falling off. I think Devin Booker will make it interesting, but I don't think he'll be able to get them in there.
Yeah, I think the Portland Trailblazers is a team that nobody really wants to see right now. They're getting everybody back. You know, they've been riddled with injuries the entire season. Their front office pretty much had to reshuffle the roster over there with everybody getting hurt. But every Collison's coming back. Um, you know, they got a good group of guys coming back along with CJ and Dame. You still got Melo. Ariza's not coming back. I think that's gonna hurt them. But you know, that's a team that's going to be a scary team coming out. Excuse me, and you know, not to mention the fact they're coming off a Western Conference Finals appearance a year ago. You know, Dame came out and said he plans on you know, not staying having a short stay in the bubble city. He wants to get out there and continue to extend his stay. And I kind of agree. I think that even though I'd like to see what I want to see one of those two rookies get in there, whether it be Ja or Zion, just to see what they look like in that playoff atmosphere. It's a little different playoff atmosphere, but nonetheless a playoff atmosphere. I'm totally on board with you that Portland to get in there. Did you see the reports that the NBA is kind of pushing for a Pelicans Lakers first round?
I definitely see I definitely did see those reports, and I don't blame them. I mean, Zion is who everyone wants to see, and definitely Bron is still selling out. So I'm pretty sure everyone would love to see a Zion versus Bron matchup. I think the report said they're kind of comparing it to Michael Jordan versus the Celtics, what was it, '86 type of thing. So to me, I think it's kind of a long shot. Like I said, we both kind of just picked the Blazers. Like I said, the Blazers have a superstar and another star, a co-star to go with him who kind of been there, done that. And I think, like I kind of said with the Rockets, when we get into the bubble, I feel like every game is kind of a playoff game because all 8 games kind of matter. So I feel like as soon as we kind of hit the ground running with the season coming back, every game's a playoff game. And with that being said, I just think I'm gonna have to go with the team that has a superstar and a co-star to go with it.
Yeah, no, we're fully on board here, and we're fast approaching. This is coming up at the end of the month. I like it. I like it. I know one thing we still kind of don't have clarification on is exactly how they're gonna get these games going. Like I was just looking through my NBA app. You know, like I noticed there'll be a game on. They're setting us off nice with two TNT games, and then of course they're gonna have a game on NBA TV at right after that, and then the same day is supposed to be another game on ESPN. Just still trying to kind of figure out how they're gonna work out, you know, the scheduling these games because everybody's from what we know, everybody's gonna be in on the same court for the most part. So that'll be real interesting to check out. You got anything else for me?
I do have something else. I think a team to watch out for here in this bubble is the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Of
Call
course.
me a Thunder fan. Call me a Thunder fan. But I think the Thunder. I was looking at the schedule. I kind of have it here in front of me. They play the Clippers and the Lakers twice. They have Denver. They have Utah, which are two teams I think that are ahead of them right now. So those two are big games. They have Memphis. They have the Heat. They have Phoenix. and they have Washington. I'm going to go on a limb and say Washington and Phoenix are probably wins. I expect them to win those games. Then I think they'll probably lose to the Clippers and the Lakers. Maybe they could split one. I, I'm going to pick them to beat Memphis. I'm going to pick them to beat your Heat. And then I think the two games that matter the most is Denver versus Utah. If they come out and win those games, I guess if they come out and win those games, those two, I kind of just want to point those two games out. It's Denver versus Utah. I feel like if they win those games, they can move up here in the bubble. So those are two big games here. The rest of the games, I feel like they have to just kind of handle their business, and I think they'll be good. So I think they're a team to watch out for here.
All right.
Watch out for it. Watch it.
Not gonna be the
Watch out for the Thunder. They might make a move here. So yeah, like I said, I'm gonna be watching, waiting for that Denver and that Utah game. So those are the two games towards moving up.
absolutely. I wanna pull up Houston's schedule up just to see what they're at, because I know we talked about them in the 6th seed right now.
Yeah, I think I've kind of got Houston's schedule here. They'll play the Mavs first, then they'll play the Pacers, then they'll play the Lakers, they'll play the Bucks, the Sixers, the Blazers, the Kings,
All right.
and then the Spurs.
So first game back is the Mavericks. Could go either way. I'm kind of leaning towards Rockets. Call it a little bit of a bias there. They've got the look, man. I can't get over how good they looked when they went to that small ball lineup against the best teams. And I just keep thinking about this rest and how these guys. First of all, these guys have been working out. I know we're kind of, back and forth on what we expect James Harden to look like now that he's slimmed down a bit. It could be deadly, man. I could see them beating the Mavericks, beating the Bucks, beating the Blazers. I could see them starting off. Let me see. I know it sounds crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I know they're not going to do it. I could really see them going 8-0 in the bubble.
But that's been the thing about the Rockets all year. We can see them going 8-0, and I can see them going 0-8. Probably not going to happen. I think 0-8 is a little more far-fetched than 8-0. But like that's just my point is kind of that's how the Rockets are. You kind of don't know which team is kind of going to show up. We like how they look when they went to the small ball, but before the season had ended, they did lose I think like 4 in a row before they won that last one against the T-Wolves. So like I said, you don't know with all the rest and stuff like that, and them getting their legs back. I think I said on this podcast, I think that some of their problems right before the season had kind of got postponed was like their legs being tired and stuff like that. So for them to get their legs back, they could come out and go 8-0, but they could come out and go 4-6. So the Rockets to me are kind of always like a toss-up team. If they play their best, they can win, but we just don't know like which Rockets team we're gonna get.
Yeah. Look, man, this is kind of like Mike D'Antoni's last stand over there. Seems like Daryl Morey's not going anywhere, but it's win or go home for Mike D'Antoni. They've got a lot invested in this team after making the trade for Russell Westbrook. The two have looked pretty good together. The small ball looked amazing. Call me crazy, man. This could be their year. And you know what I get tired about too? I'm tired of people calling this. I don't know if I brought this up before. I feel like I have, but I'm gonna say it again anyway. I am tired of people talking about how this is an asterisk championship. This is not an asterisk championship. This is going to be the hardest. I get it. There's a lot of factors going into this. Some people might not have their full lineups out there because guys are choosing just to sit out of the return to play, or some guys might be dealing with the coronavirus themselves. But at the end of the day, this is going to be the toughest championship for anybody to win because there's so many factors involved. The Denver Nuggets closed their facilities because of guys like Nikola Jokic testing positive for coronavirus. Just so these guys can't even really practice as the way they've kind of got accustomed to practicing since all of this came up. The Brooklyn Nets just reopened their practice facilities. Like, there's so much going into this. And all these teams are dealing with things that they've never dealt before. And this is exactly why I just think this is whoever wins this championship, you really earned it, because there was nothing easy about getting this done.
Definitely, I definitely agree. I don't think there's no asterisk on this one. I think, like you said, this is going to be one of the toughest ones with everything you just said. And some teams are coming back with a whole different roster. Like the Nets are probably coming back. What they lose like 4 or 5 players. The Nets are coming back with like a whole different roster. The Lakers lost Avery Bradley, and now they're getting J.R. Smith. So like some
We
teams,
didn't talk about that. We did not even talk about that. Now we got to get into that.
yeah. So there's teams who left with certain starters and coming back without starters, and it's a whole new person. It's not like the person which is on the team and you're replacing them. Like you're coming back with like a whole new team. So to do that and still be able to get everything back together and get things focused on the championship, like I said, and there's no fans. You got to remember, there's going to be no fans, so there's no home court advantage here. So like, really, it's just so many moving pieces that I feel like you said, it's going to be one of the toughest ones.
Yeah, and I mean, you talk about the no fans. That's something to look out for a team like Philly, who had the best record in the league at home, but as opposed to on the road, not so much. So for a team like Philly, when you talk about that no home court advantage, it's going to be interesting to see how a team like that adjusts. I know they said Joel Embiid still looks like he's in pretty good shape. Ben Simmons, we want to see you start shooting some threes in live games. Don't do that. But just things like that. But anyway, Swish is back.
It's back.
Avery
He's with Bron
Bradley.
again.
Yeah. Um yeah, Swish is back. I want to see how they work out these lineups, because at the time Avery Bradley was the starting point guard. You had Rondo coming off the bench, and they had just signed Dion Waiters. So we didn't even get to see Dion Waiters as a Laker yet. We're going to. You have Dion Waiters and J.R. Smith on the same team. Two guys who they're definitely not terrible three-point shooters, but they are not great three-point shooters. But they think that they're great three-point shooters. So they're going to shoot that shot whenever they feel like it, and they believe it's going in every time. Obviously, the Lakers are the number 1 seed in the West, got one of the best records in the league. You got 2 top 5 players in the league on that team, in LeBron James and Anthony Davis. Last time we saw LeBron James playing with J.R. Smith, J.R. Smith missed a clear putback to seal Game 1 for the Cleveland Cavaliers against the Golden State Warriors in the NBA Finals, because for some reason he thought that the Cavs were winning. How do you think that this is going to go?
I don't know. I think starting wise, I think they're gonna plug Caldwell Pope into the starting lineup. I think you give him the starting spot there. I don't think they're gonna start. Yeah, I don't think they're gonna start Rondo. I think you just give you let Bron play point, kind of like what he's been doing all year. I think they move KCP into the starting lineup and kind of let him take over the same thing Avery Bradley was doing, guarding some of the best wing defenders out there. Guarding some of the best wing players out there and stuff like that. So I think JR probably come off the bench. The thing that you bring up with him and Dion Waiters is kind of interesting. I mean, they're like you said, they're both not the greatest shooters, but they're both going to shoot. I think they're both kind of knuckleheads off the court too. So that's going to be interesting to see too. So I think they're going to be taking shots on and off the court. Shots ahead and on and off the court. So that's going to be interesting to see how Bron kind of pulls all that back together and kind of pulls the Lakers together. That's why I said it's interesting to see. Some teams are kind of having a whole changeover and bringing in new personnel. It's going to see just to see how him and J.R. Smith and Dion Waiters get along. Are they going to get along? Are they going to kind of go at each other and things like that?
I think they get along. Yeah. I don't think it's going to be.
I think so too, but you never know what could possibly happen. I think Dion Waiters is kind of on a he's kind of trying to prove himself too. So I think he's going to do anything to kind of any knucklehead stuff to kind of get him looked at in a bad light again. So I think everything can kind of work out, but like I said, you never know. It's a lot there's a lot of unknowns coming into this. So that's the interesting part.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm definitely focused on how the minutes are getting distributed there. It's kind of the same thing because like it's crazy that they were talking about how minutes are going to get distributed with the Clippers with all of these guys that they were signing. You know, Reggie Jackson, When those they still had Landry Shamet over there at the time. Um, just a bunch of Noah, Montrezl Harrell, all the Lou Williams, all these guys. How exactly are you going to go about distributing these minutes? But now, like when I look at the Lakers, it's kind of the same thing, especially with that guard play. You got KCP, Danny Green, Rajon Rondo, Avery Bradley's gone, so now you got J.R. Smith, Dion Waiters. Is that exactly how are you going to be able to distribute these minutes? One thing I want to point out that's interesting in having this conversation, if we go back to the 2018 season for the Cleveland Cavaliers, Dwayne Wade was the starting two guard for the Cleveland Cavaliers going into that season before he went to Tyronn Lue and said just move him to the bench because J.R. Smith really wasn't adapting well to his role on the bench. I want to see, especially with him being out so long. I know he's been doing extensive workouts with Chris Brickley out here in the city, but I want to see how he's going to, because I don't expect him. I definitely don't expect him to be in the starting lineup. How is he going to be able to adjust to a possible minutes restriction? Just I don't want to call it a minutes restriction because he's not hurt or anything, but like just a lack of minutes because they're trying to find time to put everybody in there.
Yeah, I think minutes are kind of come by committee. I think it's going to be on a nightly type of basis thing. I think whoever's having the better night is kind of who's going to get the minutes. And I think the starter will probably come down to whoever fits better around Braun. That's kind of why I think KCP kind of will start because he can shoot and he also plays defense. Not saying that Rondo doesn't, but Rondo can't really shoot and kind of Rondo needs the ball in his hand. And I think with Braun in the lineup, I think they kind of want to let LeBron continue playing point like he's been doing all year. So I think the minutes around that are just gonna, especially at the guard spot, are gonna come by committee. I think whoever's having a better night shooting, maybe having a better night playing defense, kind of what they need from their guard, from whatever the night may be. I think that's who's kind of gonna get the minutes. I think starting wise, it's probably gonna come down to who's fitting around Braun better. But I think on a nightly basis, he'll probably switch up his lineups, and whoever's having a better game is who probably get the most minutes on that night. Now, as far as Jr., I think he's gonna have to adjust his bench role. I think he has had a lot of time to be out the league and kind of get himself together. So it might be his last shot. So if he can't adjust to this role coming off the bench right now, I think he might not ever get another shot because he might just be a bench player from here. So I think, but it's possible that he can come and maybe get back to starting if he can come out there and play defense and hit shots. But I think he's definitely gonna have to adapt to that bench role. If he doesn't, then I think his minutes are definitely going to dwindle. And like I said, that could be another thing that can cause a problem. So, like I said, who knows what can happen down there with them just bringing new people in. So they know the certain people that they had now is okay with not getting minutes and stuff like that. So what if they bring JR in and he's expecting more minutes and he doesn't get it, and that can cause a problem. So now what if it's the same thing with Dion Waiters? Now both of them are not getting the minutes, and now both of them are causing problems. Not with each other, but now with the team. That's what I'm saying. Like bringing new people in could cause a problem.